Hello and welcome back to the Cinema Tirana YouTube channel. I am Stefano Tirana. This is the channel where we talk about issues of film and faith. Today we are talking about the much anticipated release of Avatar: The Way of Water. It's been over a decade since the last movie came out. Some say it's been a little too long, in fact. But the movie is here, so let's talk about it. I'll give you my review, see if it's a recommendation or not, and maybe some things to think about when watching this film. Avatar: The Way of Water is over 3 hours. It's a very, very long film. There's some really good parts to it, some really questionable parts to it. But let's start off with the good stuff. This movie is very beautiful. It's a very compelling story. The family dynamics of this film are very wonderful, especially when it comes to the portrayal of male figures and role models. It's very refreshing to see such a wonderful, strong, but fatherly role for the protagonist. This film's visual effects, when they hit, are best in class, best of all time. Some of these shots here are absolutely spectacular, jaw-dropping. Just the particle effects, the way the water falls on the skin, and the way light hits. It's really remarkable. But there are some shots in here that had me kind of scratching my head a little bit. I know this movie hasn't been in production for 13 years, but nevertheless, a little bit more polish on some of the shots, I think, would have kept the experience even more immersive. This film, in a lot of ways, was like The Incredibles meets the first Avatar film, and that's to its strength. I think this is a really good time for families, but the issue here is that for young kids, this is going to be a challenge. Luckily, the kid sitting next to me in the theater was an absolute angel. God bless those parents. But we were counting during the movie how many times people had to get up and go to the bathroom. It's very, very long, and it's almost unwarranted. In terms of some of the bad in this film, the length kind of comes down to the plot almost completely stops after Act 1. There's some dilly-daddling with this new group of people. I'm not going to spoil much of anything, but when the film is like from the get-go rolling, it's a great time, very entertaining, and then it just completely stops, and then it doesn't pick back up for like another 45 minutes to an hour till Act 3, really. And the final climax is very long-winded, and the action kind of it stops making sense. You're kind of just told to keep going along with it. Again, I can't get into it for spoiler reasons, but looking at this film a little bit more critically, it's very self-evident. In terms of other thoughts, though, on this film, I think it's very interesting. The climate that this film is releasing in, the world is very different than it was in 2009, especially when it comes to indigenous relationships with general culture. Things are a lot more tense and critical, and to release a film where the whole narrative is that humans are colonizers and exploit land for resources is perhaps a outdated kind of 2D perspective on issues that can be really quite complicated. It's a very simple message behind this film. The message is that we're abusing our Earth's resources, and it's a valid criticism. We have to steward our Earth wisely. I'm not a preacher, so I'm not gonna diddly-daddle on that. But what I am saying is that when films start to preach at you, especially in a way that has no subtext, has nothing meaningful to add to the conversation outside of, this is bad, this is good, be like the good people, it becomes very two-dimensional, and I think it takes the audience for granted. Audiences are smart. They are thinking about the film critically as well. That's why you're probably here watching this video. So to have some complexity in issues of colonization and issues when it comes to Earth and the environment would be a very gracious thing to add, especially on a film of this scale. And if there's going to be 2 more Avatar movies, 2 of them are already in the works, having the same message repeated every single time will get tiring by the end of it. It already felt a little long-winded within 3 hours. But here, the film is still a good time. The performances, especially from Zoe Saldana, are just world-class, and how they're interpreted into CGI is incredibly well done. I'd be shocked if this doesn't get nominated for an Oscar. And the overall good family message that this film portrays, I think is going to be really well received by audiences, especially in a world lacking in just wholesome movies. I think this is a good refreshing a glass of water. Unfortunately for me, even though this film is absolutely a breathtaking cinematic experience, I say the comfort of being in your own home will be missed while watching this film, and you might just want to wait till it comes out on streaming. I'm sure it'll be on Disney Plus soon enough anyways. So that wraps up my review of Avatar: The Way of Water. This film had no beginning and no end. It's very long. It's very long. What did you think of Avatar: The Way of Water? Leave a spoiler-free review in 3 words in the comments. And if you like these videos, if you like movie reviews, hit the subscribe button. Many more are coming. We like looking at issues of film and faith here. And as always, God bless, and thank you for watching.